How's it going, everyone? How's it going, Joe?
What's up? How you doing, Lola?
Hey, everybody. I've got Joe today. He's going to talk about Star Circuit with us. We were just
Nice.
talking about how this is our first time talking to each other. So,
Yeah, it's there's a lot of people in the CG community, and even if you like hang out for a while, you still don't meet everybody. That's for sure.
no, oh my goodness, it has grown so much since I first came into this. Like, there are a ton of people everywhere creating, just doing miraculous, amazing, beautiful things. Love what I'm seeing coming out of it.
Oh yeah, me too. I like I don't know. I obviously I'm only a year or so into CG, so I know how much it's grown, but only kind of peripherally. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
cool.
definitely, we've definitely got more creators in here, more people who are, you know, wanting to put that creative bug out there and get people involved in comics again. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean anything bringing back the comics. Comics is so like of a niche industry that the more eyes on it, the better, for sure.
I'm gonna say hi to our chat real quick because we got some awesome people over here. We got William Perdomo. What up, Will? And the Ryan Cardinal. What up,
Oh yeah,
Ryan?
Ryan, what's up?
Seth Nickum. What up, man? And Critical Blast. What's up, RJ? RJ's my buddy. And then there's Woodrow. What's up, Woodrow? Everybody loves Woodrow. And Johnny Cage, my brother from another mother.
Okay.
Oh, Gargoyle, always coming in with that eggplant. And D-Wag. What up, D-Wag?
Hail
Yeah,
T-Wag.
got awesome chat today. So, Joe, why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you into like the whole comics gate and the indie scene and
Yeah, sure. So I've been a comic creator like for myself for maybe like a decade, and most of that was just me like getting like at least personally how I felt about it, how like good enough to actually start a book. So I just like maybe about 4 years ago I started 4 or 5 now started this book called well, it wasn't called Star Circuit before. I think I was calling it Pulse Circuit or something. But it was very much the same kind of idea, but a little different. But I wanted to make this book, and I started making it, and I really had kind of more faith in the mainstream industry back then. And I had like a little bit of an agent to help me out, try to find a publisher, but it just started looking like there wasn't a lot of options for anybody. Even if you were well off as like a
right?
creator. So yeah, I mean, after a while, I'm a big fan of VVS, so just naturally I saw what happened to him, and I just watched his channel to watch his channel, and I kind of like became a CG lurker and knew about it the whole time, just never jumped into the chat or interacted really because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with the book. I didn't know what it really was gonna become until I hopped back in about a year and a half ago, and a lot of cool people are here. The community's great. It's like kind of what comics needs to be, and
Right?
and so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm stoked about actually find like really stoked that I found CG because I can't imagine almost not having CG in like the world. It's awesome.
Right? Right? I can see that. So have you like you finding it that we're like everybody's having fun over here? Like it's not all about the politics and all the craziness that you're seeing around, and
Yeah,
you're just like, hey, I get in this, right?
yeah, it's a lot of that. I personally, I'm like a stickler on just making good stories. Like I'm a believer that if you make something good, you're just gonna build an audience. But the more I saw that people I knew, 'cause some people that like are really talented in the industry weren't getting work maybe as quick, or just some of the guys that I knew, like including I think Patrick Parnell, like I knew him way back, and then I saw his transition into CG as well. I was like, okay, maybe that's like something that is viable for anybody. So uh, I just like what the freedom is there for making what you want to make, not having to deal with like the BS. And that's what I'm all about. Just really coming up with, I just like to create. So
Yeah,
anything that leads me down
definitely.
that road, you know.
Now I see your hat's an Alterna hat. Are you an Alterna fan?
I wasn't like hardcore before, but I was a friend of one of the letterers over there, and we did a book. Just a non, it's not published except web on his website, but I did a story with him real quickly, and so that's kind of how I got introduced to Alterna. I saw that he's the writer for Unit 44.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of got introduced to Pete through him, and then through Pete, I feel like I met a lot of people with his open mic stream about a year ago, and just started making friends with everybody here.
I love Alterna. Like Pete Cimetti is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. Like he loves everybody and he just puts that vibe out into the ethos all the time.
Oh yeah,
Like he's an awesome creator, just an awesome guy. And so I noticed your hat and I was like, yes, he's an Alterna person.
yeah. I afterward I read a lot of what he's got his lineup, so I like what happened. I like how he's progressed because he's made it like like viable as a product. He's went back to newsprint and like he's doing things that other places should be doing. And he's also a nice person
Right?
and finds good books. So that's
He's
good.
doing what comics should be about, right? Like he's keeping it professional and he's letting everybody know, hey, you're welcome here. Doesn't matter like what color you are, what gender you are, like how you identify, you are welcome to come and read my comics. I don't care. I love you. You know,
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
that's just Pete. That's just how Pete's always been, it seems.
Yep. Pizza.
Um, I got a couple more people in my chat. What up, Bone? And this beautiful lady right here, Miss Kayla Adrian. I absolutely love this lady. She shows up over on Death Curse's channel. So
I haven't been over there, but I've seen posts, I believe.
yeah, you definitely gotta check out Death Curse. Like they're doing some awesome stuff over there. She does a creator segment as well where she talks to creators about their projects.
Oh,
So
cool. I see her posts as well. The YouTube thing is a little more time consuming, but I see a lot of things on Twitter though, so that's good at least.
yeah. She's awesome people though. Like if anybody has a project and they wanna, talk about it, hit her up. Girl's definitely doing some great stuff over there.
Awesome.
Bancroft. How's the print run coming along, Joe?
I like that segue to the updates. Yeah, dude. I've had such a struggle. In fact, I probably well, let's just do the update real quick.
Yeah,
I've been on
yeah.
this roller coaster trying to get Star Circuit to actually go to press, and it was
Wait,
this.
wait. So, are you finding challenges in creating this on your own?
Um, not creating the more just the
Like
pre-press
getting it
to
printed and
yes,
stuff?
all that yes.
Okay. What
So
What are some of the challenges that you're facing here? Maybe we can
well,
help
the
you through
first
it.
one, preparing a print file that works for like getting vibrant colors and getting the book that looks good in print
Yeah.
is a whole area that I didn't really know existed until I did a deep dive in it. And even now, I'm still almost convinced like I might just get somebody to do the pre-press next time. That's how much time I spent trying to get it to look right.
Right.
And after many proofs later and crash courses from Bancroft and three other people, and a lot of YouTube videos, I got a file that looks good, and still had to go back and forth to get the physical in my hand to feel out what really worked, because not everything translates from your digital file to the print file, right? So
Right.
that's where I'm at now, where I told them to go for it, and I'm just waiting for the confirmation that it's on the rollers, So
Probably help if I had this up here since this is what we're talking about.
it's all good. So yeah, Bancroft, it should be hitting press like momentarily. I gave the okay. Everything looks pretty good. Wait like night and day from when I first started, so maybe these incremental changes makes it look like oddly not much better than what I first did, but to me it's very incremental. But I'm sure it's night and day from if I showed you the first file I had. Um,
Now, are you the artist, writer, and everything on this? Like it's just solely you?
it's solely me and Eric Weathers on
Okay. Okay.
letters.
I know Eric Weathers. Battle Brick Road, right?
Correct. Yeah, he's a good guy and a good letterer.
Yeah, yeah, he's awesome. Um, so why don't you tell me a little bit about Star Circuit, since this is really my first time hearing it from you. Like I
Oh, really?
looked at
Awesome.
the campaign, but I've yet to hear it from you what it's about.
So yes, I haven't done this in a long time, so this will be really fresh for me. I'm planning to do many more streams like this when I get the book in my hand. I can tell people, but yeah, Star Circuit is it's a little bit different than maybe your first. I don't know. To me, it could be your first intro into cyberpunk, and so in that case, saying things like it's something like Akira or something like Tron. Um, Maybe might not key you in as much as I think, but it's a cyberpunk racing book that it's got this unique style to it, and it's essentially a man versus machine story where in the future, in this particular future, androids have become the new gold standard for everything. Like people don't have to work, people don't have to struggle. Everything's done by android work, and even racing is pretty much all manned by androids, and the best racers are all androids. It's so far to the point where humans don't even think about striving for these kind of goals anymore. It's just
Right?
so this kind of story leads you down this path of um, one human kind of having this aspiration, and it's pretty much an impossibility. It's like as you would think, AI and androids eventually progressing to their computing power is so much above ours. So like they're making much more precise turns. Anyway, in this story of racing, it's a man versus machine story in that setting, plus a lot of other we'll say dramatic situations with things that come with just being a person. He's got to like deal with like um, an imperfect family and like ex girlfriends and all this other stuff on top of trying to race androids. So that's the gist of it. And I've been working on it for like 4 or 5 years, so it's everything that I want to put in a book.
That's awesome, man. Like I'm just, looking through it. I was like, this looks really intriguing. And like Seth is saying here, he said he was poking his nose through it. That he has a feeling it's both Akira, Tron, Cyberpunk, and Ghost in the Shell. Are you a anime fan or
I
manga?
do. I'm much more anime fan than manga fan for some reason. But I just now I'm getting into manga, and I really like what they do. But my style kind of is reminiscent of anime because I keep some of the lines simple, and I keep the coloring a little bit more simple than some other books, and I try to keep it a little bit more two tone, like you would see in whatever an anime you might know, like Dragon Ball or Ghost in the Shell or something.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's exactly. All these things are. Akira is one of my favorite books and movies. Uh,
Akira was awesome.
yeah, it's the best. And so what I say when I first thought of the idea, I thought of what if Akira was all about the motorcycles and nothing about like crazy mutations and superhumans. It's all about just the racing stuff. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what I would be a fanboy for that. So that's what I made. I pretty much made what I wanted to see.
He said he was also impressed with the colors on it too. So I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're getting people in with the art, the colors. You got the cyberpunk thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like love it. Like this is awesome, and it's done really well so far. Like I mean, that's really well
Yeah, my
for
first, yeah, for
budget.
sure.
Yeah.
I
So
plan. I mean, I put a lot of time into it, and usually that reflects if you put in the time. Usually get because especially from the ground up, you don't have a fan base to, like prop you up. Maybe if you don't have a lot to show, but in this case, I completed the book before I started the campaign, so that really helped me off the ground. A lot of people, all the doubts that you have about maybe me even finishing the production, is wiped away. All you got to make sure is that I look like I'm somewhat of a put together person that can figure out the business end of it.
right. I think that's
So
one of the
yeah.
biggest things that people run into is knowing just how to get out there and network and get the word out about it, right? Like, which is why we need all these channels to come together and promote and help and push.
Hmm.
That's what we do. Like, I'm a consumer, but I'm also someone who's supporting, and I'm willing to come out here and talk to whoever wants to talk about the project. Tell me about it. Sell it to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
tell me what it is that would interest me in it, and I'll back it. which
Right.
is probably what I'm going to do today. I will probably back this live on stream, just so you
Oh,
know.
well, I mean, I really appreciate that. Like I said, it's everything that I would hope any other creator would do. Like, is put their heart and soul. I think that's the first requirement for something to take off with a decent, first step is give it your all. And beyond that, like I said, I spent I don't know, 6 years just doing samples without really doing a full book, without doing it. I just was trying to get good enough to tell stories. I picked up mentors. I connected with a lot of people, got a lot of critiques. And then over time, I thought, it was time. It was like I saw that my samples weren't getting received from DC or Marvel. I was not getting a lot of feedback from, like even the indie people. Like you get a little bit. Aftershock was thinking about it, picking it up. Obviously, Scout Comics, they're pretty small. Antarctic Press. But then I saw these other problems with like gatekeeping, and I don't even know if it's going to be. They might be kind of leading me down a road that might not ever happen. So once I saw that, I was like, I'm taking my first step into making my own book and doing my own thing.
That's awesome, man. And you're doing it. I mean, you're doing it. You're killing it. Are
Yeah,
you cool if I scroll down so we
yeah,
can see
go for it.
more what you got going on here?
There's plenty to look through. I made this thing chock full. I should have updated the production complete to 100 because it's been done for a while now. But it's
Hey, 100% is awesome because that means once you like send it to the printers, that's it. All you got left is fulfillment.
right. And I got a lovely girlfriend help me pack up the boxes and get it out. So
It's a
um,
family affair. It's always a family
yeah, I'll probably have
affair.
a little pack party. Yep.
Always got to get people involved.
Oh yeah.
So this cover really like it caught my attention with the colors of the green and the blue and the hairstyle a little bit maybe.
Yeah, I mean it sucks though. Like when I first made the whole hairstyle of the half split girl with like the shaved head, it was kind of way more fresh when I first thought about it in 2015 or something. Um, Now it's become like this big trope, but still I think it really feels fresh for the character once you get to know the character. It's not like it's not forced. That's obviously anything that comes organically won't feel that way. But yeah, I dig the hair. It's one of my favorite things to draw is cool looking hair. So the
Now I
colors are
gotta
just another thing.
say, like we always associate the haircut and the color with the whole SJW crowd, whatever. But like when it's done this way, to me, it's got that more cyberpunk look to it, and
Mhm.
it's not you know what I mean, like a crazy whacked out chick haircut.
Yeah,
It's
there's only
just
a
like
few.
it's a cool hairstyle.
Yeah, when I first thought of it, there was only a few places where it was being used, and I was like, "Oh, this would be cool for it. It's cyberpunk, feels good, and it just works." But yeah, I really dig this variant cover. It's the only variant cover. It's done by Kane and White.
I
He's
thought that's what that was. I
hmm
thought it was a Canaan White.
And
Like
this is
his
also done
art
by.
is, oof.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is also done by the colors by Steve Furtkow,
Okay.
and he's like an old school. He's like one of the first guys that colored digitally. Like he has a Namen DV, and that's where I learned how to color. Like this was back in early 2000s, I think, and maybe before that. But yeah, he colored a lot of awesome people like Dave Finch and Stephen Platt back in the day. So
Like it's a beautiful cover, man. All right,
yeah, I lucked out.
I'm looking through. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm backing now.
um,
Some
so yeah,
interiors.
so these are the first few pages. The preview is actually on starcircuitcomic.com. You can actually go read it right now. But these are the preview pages without the lettering, and as you can see, like I focus on the colors as far as just like getting it to look like vibrant and attractive pretty heavily, and that's from one of my big inspirations is Sid Mead, who was the designer on Blade Runner. Are you aware of that movie?
Yes.
So yeah, Blade Runner is like one of the most like kind of most at the time especially, but it's the most put together movie as far as world building goes
Right.
almost ever. And the designer on it, Sid Mead, is just like insane with color. Like he just knows what works.
That back in the day was one of the prettiest movies that had come out of that whole decade.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, that movie still to this day it stands, you know,
Hmm.
with color and just like the effects, everything. Because I mean, those things weren't really being used during that time, so it was like one of those front runners of technology in movies.
Oh yeah. A lot of people think like a lot of my inspirations are all comics. I might say, obviously, besides the anime kind of stuff, because I like a lot of Gundam. I like a lot of obviously Akira, Ghost in Shell, even I would say. But I have big inspirations from the big guys from back in the day. I would say McFarlane and Jim Lee, uh, even like Kenneth Rockford's, who is now
Right.
in CG. He's like one of my biggest inspirations. I've been looking at his work and trying to get my lines to do what his lines do for so long.
But
Um,
you can do that, but you also have to have your own twist on it. You know, you have to put that Joe feel on it. You can't,
yeah,
you know,
and that happens naturally. A lot of people try to force it if you're an aspiring artist. Like a lot of people think like you need to find it. I think it just happens if you try to make a project you care about. So goal number one is to figure out what you want to make and just try to make it. And whatever comes out is going to be your style. There's no
no.
like,
Are you like most of my artist friends and you're way harder on yourself and you think about it way more than probably, say, the average Joe that's going to buy it and look at it and be like, this is awesome. This is beautiful. Are you over here going, no, 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 no. That line is, it's off by like, 15 degrees here and I can't handle that. Like, are you one of
absolutely,
those?
yeah. It's hard to be an artist and not do that, especially with your own stuff. Especially, other people's you can be more lenient because you seeing it fresh and it's magical to you. But to me, it's I see the wireframes. I see the sticks holding it up together. So
Like, you know what all went in to make it, right? Oh my goodness, we have
mhm.
way more people in this chat now. I've got Bancroft said that you made his favorite cover for Mavericks.
Yeah,
So you're
it's
working
not
on that as well, huh?
that's out. It's Mavericks is a current campaign, and you can get that cover right now as well.
And then we have Phoenix Animation up in here. What's up, man?
Yeah,
Ollie
see,
from the 656, the 656 guys?
oh, of course, yeah.
That Kryptonals, man, that's gonna be off the chain. I'm
I
looking
know.
forward to that
Like,
one.
I I feel like that art style is equally as creepy as like the content. It's awesome.
I love it. I love horror, so like I'm so just pumped up for it. Um,
Oh yeah.
we got Neff in here who's also doing Mavericks, right?
Hmm.
So
Correct.
I know it's Global Frequency, so it isn't Neff part of Global
He
Frequency.
is. Yeah, the avatar. You got to look at that little frequency avatar. That's him.
Guys, I try to keep up. I promise I do, but there's so many. And then there's so many, like when you get so many avatars that come along, like especially like with Twitter and stuff, you're like, wait a minute, isn't that person this person? And then you're like realizing they're not the same people, and you're like, crap.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I feel like I for a long time I didn't relate that American Discord was Shelby for a long, long time. But that's how it goes.
There you go. Kayla's got it. It's important to just be passionate, and through passion, you find your style. And
Hmm.
and your audience can tell that too, right? Like your audience can tell if you have that passion and love for it, or if you're just making it because you want to make a quick buck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easily told. I mean, I feel like you wouldn't be able. I talk about this in my layouts and design supplemental, which we can get to later. But for science fiction, that'll be very apparent because if you don't really care about the science fiction part of it, all your designs will be not really too far off from what already currently exists. You won't put too much effort into that, and it'll be very apparent. You can kind of get by with more modern, just normal like even superhero stories, but things that are grounded, it's way easier to fake that. But yeah, I agree. The passion will show up if you just look at the pages. You'll see it.
Oh, definitely. Oh, what is going on here?
So yeah, this is this first little intro page. Like I said, you can go read these pages right now on the website, but there's a lot of text on that panel, and this is This family is essential to the story. That's on this little logo, and it's kind of like a commercial. So like kind of like how you would see, local car salesmen. They might have their family with it. Uh,
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of what was the movie I'm thinking of with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Not
oh, and
Total
that
Recall, but
I'm trying to think of all the ones. Why did I say
well,
Tomorrowland?
like in the beginning, they
Uh,
have that commercial for where he goes in. He's gonna go on like a vacation, but it's like really
that's in that Total Recall.
maybe it
No,
is. I don't know. My
I believe
brain's
that's
not
Total
working right
Recall.
when it comes to movies today.
Maybe someone can confirm that. Yeah.
But so like how they have the commercial and it comes on and everybody's like happy and yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of. I was like, ooh, I wonder what's going on here.
Oh yeah, that's it's a key. A lot of my well, I base a lot of my writing and my story on theme. That's how I
Right?
write everything. So the theme for this is very much what, in the grand scheme of everything, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, is it worth it to try hard and sacrifice your life to achieve great things? So there's always trade-offs, like sacrificing family, sacrificing other things to try to hit your goals or hit these big lofty kind of achievements. And that's how everything's based off of in this whole thing. And it ties into robots because obviously there's like a high tier now. Like to actually do something substantial, you've got to beat you know robots that don't bleed, that have
Right.
no fear. So
It's awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Fall in love with it right here just talking to you about it.
it's
Like
fun.
I'm totally back in this.
So, thank you. Yeah, so I spent a long time. My favorite character in the book is actually the motorcycle. It's actually a it's the first thing I drew besides like just other random sketches. It was the first thing I designed, and I had so many different types of angles for it, but I ended up something very close to like a crotch rocket that we currently have, just with suspended wheels and like gravity discs and these different kind of takes on the design. But it's my favorite thing. The characters are all great, and we can talk about them, but the bike is awesome to see.
Yes, yes, I'm in love with the bike. Like I like cars and bikes, and like I like to see people's vision of like different worlds and like futuristic type stuff.
Right.
So
Me
yeah,
too. I love it.
this is awesome. I
That's
love
why
the
you made
design.
it.
I like the helmets. Like the helmets on these guys are just freaking dope, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so there's plenty of little things, and like I said, the bike is a big deal. I have a 3D print that you can buy. It's gray, and you can paint it. You can come primered, ready for you to paint if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, it's like I said, it's my favorite character because it's sleek. It came out awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at that tier. I was gonna ask you about it
Hmm.
because we'll go back up here. Where was it? Where was it? There it is. So this one is the one that you're talking about with the bike print, right?
Hmm. Correct. Yeah,
Is it
that's it.
3D?
Oh yeah, it's a 3D print. It's resin print material, but it's really awesome. It's really big. Way I have one on the shelf over here I can grab if you're interested.
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you grab it and show
Yeah,
it to
sure.
us?
You got it. Let me grab it.
I'll make you big screen.
Yep.
Oh, look, he's even got his avatar. Look at that awesome helmet, y'all. Everybody should go back Star Circuit right now if you haven't already. What's up, Gingerton? That's a lot to say. That's a mouthful. Silvar, what's up?
Yeah. So this bike has gone out to several people already. I sent a lot of packages by themselves, but now since the book is almost ready, I'll be packing this all together. So here's the bike. The lighting in here is a little ambient, so you're not getting a whole lot of like depth with it. But it's a cool. As you can see, it's like just about as probably long as your hand would be. It's so you can imagine. Like what it's going to feel like. But there's a lot of detail. You can see the treads on the tires. You can see a lot of the lures, even the light you can see within the tail light. There's a shape in there as well. But yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
awesome. Everything about it's been designed and printed really awesomely. So the plan is with that bike, you can get it and then paint it, and then the next time I have a release for Star Circuit, I'll have a contest where whoever has an awesome take on their paint job, I'll put you in the book. So just a heads up, that'll be an official thing eventually. But yeah, it'll be cool to do.
That's awesome. And then are you looking at maybe like doing any art contest or anything with that later on, or
Oh, for the bike painting themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I think like whoever's gonna paint the bike the coolest will have a little bit of like a panel judge kind of thing happen, and whoever wins will get in the book with their paint job.
Oh, whoa, I got a Frega Boom up in my chat. What up, Frega?
Hey, Frecker.
And Skip Edwards, what up, Skip? Yeah, that looks awesome, dude. Yeah, okay. I know exactly what I'm getting now. So I'm
Awesome.
shopping. Like I'm a shopper, right?
Yeah,
That's
you gotta look before you buy. You gotta see it.
so like I like to know what it is I'm looking at that I could be getting.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
are you cool with us playing the trailer?
Oh yeah, awesome. I haven't heard. Well, I play it once in a while on my videos on my channel, but yeah, check it out.
Okay. Oh, I still gotta share and all that good stuff. Stop.
The future.
I'm sure everybody heard that. I'm totally boomer in this right now, aren't
Not nearly. I think like it seems pretty normal these days for
I?
StreamYard users.
Yeah, well, I'm not tech savvy at all. So
It's okay. Yeah, I feel like we all are making these mistakes for sure.
yeah, let's take that out. Bring it back. Okay. Can you hear it?
Welcome to the
It's
future.
echoing, but
Is it?
A pla-
for me anyway.
Is it echoing for everybody else? Let me know if you're hearing an echo, people. Because I want to make sure I don't want anyone's like ears to burst out or anything. Because it's too loud, or maybe I need to stop sharing audio. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. You can.
Well, yeah, if you're playing it from a browser, like selecting audio is good. I just don't know why it's looping for you.
Hmm.
Maybe you could turn off your speakers if it's playing out of your speakers. Could do that.
Let's see if that works.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
A place where you can find anything you desire. If the burner gangs don't find you first. Where the fastest racers are artificial. And if you're human, you don't stand a chance. Star Circuit.
I didn't mute. So did that
Awesome.
work better? Less echo?
It was no echo for me at least.
Okay. Awesome.
I
Awesome.
see Woodrow asking if it was me who made the trailer. It was
Yeah.
not me. I cannot take claim to such a feat. I gave all my assets to Ted Zagaro. He did Sovereign Wolf and Xenotype. He's done other
Yeah.
books, but yeah, they're awesome. Awesome
Yeah.
trailers.
That was a great trailer. Like, yeah, I'm sold.
Oh yeah, it's not a story based trailer, which is sometimes what I want to see for the books I want to maybe back, but it gets the hype going. It's like very much the vibe more than anything.
Yeah, I some trailers I find I tend to like drift off in. Like if it gets too wordy or too much.
Hmm.
But then if it's too short too, I'm like, okay, well that didn't catch my interest because like I don't have no clue what's going on here. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think trailers they can do a lot of help, but I think they also have their cons just like anything else.
Yeah, I feel like you either get it. It's binary. It's like it's either fun to watch or kind of a drag. So you gotta try to push it to the good side there.
So when are you looking to start fulfilling, or do you have an idea?
So they have the. Depends how long it takes for them to print. I'm assuming a week or so. So I'm hoping the books will be getting out to some people at least in August.
Okay,
That's the
cool.
goal. Hopefully, we don't have that many. I have 340 backers, so it's plausible that I get it all out in August. But then again, I haven't done this before, so I don't. I'm trying to gauge my time with some arbitrary number. So right now
Right.
it's up in the air. But yeah, I'm gonna get it as soon as I can, which is within probably a month and a couple weeks.
And are you gonna keep it open in demand?
It will until the next entry comes out. Which, like I said, this book was made as like a pilot. I was pitching it to wherever Image or wherever. That's the plan. That was the plan. So that's why it's just this first chapter. And then even though I wrote the whole thing as far as like an outline goes, the second book and the third and the fourth is not made yet. So I'm compiling all that probably into the next entry, and we'll have a bigger chunk of the story to have for the next book.
Kayla says it's an amazing trailer, very eye catching, and she liked the narration. It's very high octane, the whole thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Kayla
dude,
really
he,
likes
he
it.
killed it. Ted killed it. So all props goes to him.
So on the next, like, will you just remain the only artist and writer on it, or are you gonna try to bring more people in as a team to help?
It's gonna take. I'm trying to like knock out all of the parts of the project that I like rather not do, or I can speed up the process with. So
Right.
definitely, I definitely want to keep the art kind of to myself. I might get a editor up front to help me like finesse the writing quicker, and I'm getting a flatter to do the flats for the coloring, and I'll probably get somebody to do the pre-press stuff because that's all time that I really don't have. Because I'd rather be doing the campaigning. Like if I'm going to do something aside from the art and the story, it's going to be the campaigning, talking to fans, and making sure that I'm aligning with like what people want, and addressing the feedback and that sort of thing.
Right. I can understand that. Bless your heart, Skip. He said Joe started this project years ago. How much did he refine his artwork before he was ready to say a page was ready for the printed comic?
Oh man, when I first started, I was probably drawing 16 to 20 hour pages, penciling, just penciling, and so I put like. But the way I work and my kind of claim to fame, if you have one, for me would be every time I got stuck on a page trying to draw whatever a butt, I couldn't draw a good butt. I would I would have to do studies on it. I had to go like practice some butts, draw some butts, look up some butts, and
Look
then
at some different fruit, turn it upside down.
correct. Yeah, go buy some fruit and yeah, whatever else I needed to do, I do that first, and
Bless your
then
heart, Joe. You had no idea what you're walking into.
so yeah, that's usually my approach is like solve my problems as well as learn on the way. And so it took me a long time per page. So to answer Skip's question is really I probably halved my time by now. I probably can do a page in like 10 to 12 rather than 16 to 20. Um, so yeah,
That's awesome, though.
yeah,
That's
which is
awesome. That
good.
means you're getting faster and you're getting more confident.
Yeah, it's great. I'm doing plenty of other books right now, and which is cool to do because it's kind of like a refresher in between Star Circuit. But yeah, that's how that's like I said, that's my claim to fame. Like anybody who's trying to get better at art or writing, I would say make work, and then the things that you don't like about it, um, go study other things until you find your answers, or able to pull it off, in a better way,
Right
you
on,
know.
man.
So yeah.
I totally agree with that. I got some funny comments over here about your butt comment.
Let's read some.
Johnny Cage says it's really important to have the butts figured out. I mean, he's got a point.
Indeed.
What up, Gelth? That's my boy Gelth. He's awesome.
I like that name, Gilf.
And Seth says, does this butt look all right. No, no, no. It needs to be more round, more butt-like.
Yeah. That's usually what you have to say. Like, or maybe it's too much butt like. You got to pull back on the butt. But rarely is that the case.
You guys are so hilarious in the chat. Always laughing at the butt. And Makini, my boy Makini showed up to say hello. So what's up, Makini? He's a huge supporter of everybody too. So
Awesome. Yeah, I see Makani come to my channel, I think, once or twice, which is really cool that everything's kind of reaching everybody. That's awesome.
And Michael T, he said, the search for the perfect bud is a difficult but noble quest.
Yes, a highly revered quest.
Jeremy Birds, what's up, Jeremy? And we got Death Curse. What's up, man? So yeah, we got all kinds of people in here want to have fun and ask questions and talk about butt drawings. I had a question.
Are you an artist, or am I talking to strictly a writer? I know you write.
No, I don't. I'm not art. I don't do art. I create all kinds of stuff, but don't ask me to draw anything because you're gonna get stick figures that look like my 3-year-old drew it. So
well, it's just like anything else. A little bit here, a little bit there will vastly improve your skills.
I actually enjoy working with like different mediums, like different materials and stuff like that. So like just sitting down to draw or paint or something like that, it's not really
You're
me.
like a sculptor or something.
Like, well, yeah, I like to use yarn and resin and paint. I like to throw paint down every once in a while on some resin creation I made, or
nice.
Wood. Yeah, I've done some woodworking. So.
Oh, dude, that's hard stuff. That's props.
So yeah, I like to do stuff like that. I like to see what I can create, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, art is hard to do, and that's why it's so awesome when some of your art works out. I think like with anything, even a business venture or anything else, like whenever you try so hard at something for long enough and you just get rejected, or just things don't work out for so long, and then something does land, it's like magic. It's like some sort of universe aligning. I think I heard somebody tell me this not too long ago, but instead of putting up like diplomas and stuff on the wall, and all your achievements, you should be putting up all your rejection letters, because it reminds you like it's not hard to get the achievement. It's hard to like get the rejection and then keep going. So I know that was a little bit of a tangent, but that's
no. I get totally what you're saying. It's supposed to be that inspiration to keep you going and make you better.
Right. Mostly the skill you want to develop is not like expecting good results. The skill you want to develop is like continuing even though it's not working, or just pretty much pretending. You can either be delusional like I am, or actually, keep trying, genuinely. So for me, I'm just like delusional. I always think things are going to work out.
Right. I try to like live in reality, but at the same time, I hope for the best.
Yeah, that's
what you do with any of it, right? Like if you fail at something, it's okay because you can still get back up and try again, and it doesn't mean you're gonna fail the second time, right? Like
there's always a chance.
You got to change things and do what you feel that you did wrong the first time, and take that and change it and make it better.
Right.
I think we should all learn from our failures and not beat ourselves up over them.
For sure. I heard that also. Yeah, like that the most successful people are just the people that are like constantly throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Like whoever's throwing the most stuff at the wall is who succeeds. Not the person that necessarily is the most skilled. It's just the person that like is relentless. So if you're there in that position, go for it.
CB says unless you're skydiving.
Oh yeah.
You always want to get that right the first time because failure with that sucks.
Yeah, you need somebody got your back on that one.
Seth says, all jokes aside, this is actually really impressive. This is definitely a reflection of dedicated drive to make a better product and refine a story that inspires others to do the same.
Seth, that is like one of the best things ever. Can I caption that for my book? I might put that in the back or something.
Oh, I don't care. That's a quote, though.
It's a good quote.
I'm sure he would let you have it.
Uh,
Yeah, no, like that's something else too. Like people see what you're doing and they see like how well you're doing at it and it inspires them, right? Because maybe
mhm.
they've got a story or they've got art out that they want to put out there, but they don't know how to do it and they're afraid. They're afraid people won't accept it or they won't be accepted into the community, quote unquote. Yeah, that's not how it works here.
Yeah.
But like people they have fears, people live in fears, and so one of the way to kind of like get rid of those fears is to see other people doing it and succeeding at it, and then like they're like, oh well, maybe I could do this, and then they put their foot out there and they see what happens.
Yeah, it's you gotta yeah it's like you do have, the first step is overcoming the fear a little bit, and I think it's just good to do things that are not so high stakes. Don't think don't create something specifically to crowdfund. Create something, and if you like it, keep building and building until like it feels like it's something, and something you're proud of. I like I'm really critical of myself and critical of anything really, but so that's how I know like I'm okay with it going out there because I'm like, all right, I still see the flaws, but at least it's something that I can put my name on and I'm not ashamed or something, you know.
Right, right,
But
like
yeah, you don't want to
we're
you don't
our
want that
own worst
pressure.
enemies, right? Like we are always our own worst enemies. We always criticize ourselves way harder than anyone else would ever criticize us. We know what our flaws are, right? Like everybody knows what their flaws are. And so we kind of dwell on that sometimes, and sometimes that leads way to other stuff. But like it's like Kayla's saying here. She says, "Never give up. We never truly lose in life if we learn from the situation." So, like, you can be overworking something or over worrying about something, and it would never even be noticed by other people. You know what I mean? By your backers, by people who are supporting you. Like it's something that they would never notice, but you're that person that's looking at it going, I don't know about this. Like, I'm going to change it and I'm going to overwork it. But then it becomes like this big deal, right? So it's like, sometimes we just have to let those little things go.
Yeah, you can easily build those things up in your mind.
And so it says anything he says is free to be used or even taken out of context. So there you
Okay,
go.
I like that.
Kayla says, through our failures, we grow, and truly, it isn't ever negative because we have the opportunity to do better next time. It's not the end of the world.
True. Yeah, put simply, yeah.
Okay, before we get off here and
Mhm.
wrap this up, you have a channel.
I do have a channel, indeed.
And you have a fairly good sized channel.
It's long. It's built up over way more years than most people do have to like get to that number. I started it right before I started Star Circuit, like 2015, and it took me that long to get 1,000 subs on the channel, which is still nice to have and still good, but it took a long time.
Okay.
Um,
I'm just gonna share your
sure.
channel here. So like everybody, if you have not already went and subbed to Joe and watched what he's doing over there, I've been watching your channel. I've actually been watching what you're doing over there.
Oh, thank you.
Um, I don't talk in the chats a
What
lot.
kind of stuff do you watch? Do you watch Art Bros or some other stuff?
I watch the Art Bros, and then I also watch there was you and another guy that's doing it. They call you Captain all the time.
Are you oh Colonel? You need my buddy the Colonel.
Yeah,
That
the
could
Colonel.
be just Art Bros. That's could be just still Art Bros. But I there's a
I,
couple streams. I do one on Sunday and one on Wednesday. So
I usually watch the Sunday ones because that's usually when I have my down day. So,
nice. Yeah, that's the Cup of Joe's draw stream that I'm on
but
that we
if
do.
somebody could like throw that link in the chat, and I've got it in my description as well as the Indiegogo for Star Circuit. So I wanted everybody to be aware you do have a channel. You are out there helping other creators as well because I know that you have people that come on and talk about their projects. So
Yeah, absolutely. I try to do that consistently. I like variability too to give people whatever they need. I also do a lot of tutorials. There's tons of tutorials on my channel. So if you're looking into penciling comics or coloring,
well, I say you're
just
teaching
jump out
people
there.
how to do stuff too, stuff that you've learned to do along the way.
Yep, for sure.
Um, Now, do you ever talk about like the whole crowdfunding process and like?
I mean, it's funny because I'm pretty new to it, right? Because it's not been too long since I launched this campaign. But what I have learned, I have shared. So if you ask me in DMs, I'll talk about it. But I have not made a video because I don't feel like I'm qualified yet. So I just refer people to the Robocopter. So go talk to Rob the Replicator, and he'll tell you
Rob
what
the
to do.
Riddler.
Yeah. So
Rob's awesome.
yeah. But yeah, that's usually my go-to. I stay away from the business end and just focus on the art because that's like kind of where my most passion is at. So
Well, I say you're killing it, man. It looks awesome. Like it looks like an. And my phone died,
oh
so
no,
as soon as we wrap up here, I'm gonna go and back Star Circuit, and I'll share it out on Twitter so everybody can see. I did back it. I do love this project. I'm all about it. Like everybody should go and back this. Get you a copy.
I appreciate it. That's awesome. And yeah, I also want to say, yeah, like you said before, everybody's going to be reading it soon. It's going to be hot off the presses, hopefully next week.
So are you getting more and more excited as you're getting ready to go to print?
Oh, of course. I mean, I got a pile of proofs, so I'm like, it's like this obvious struggle of like trying to get to look as best as it can. Also, there's a lot of stretch goals on it. Like, we didn't talk about it, but you get
Oh
three
yeah,
you get three different prints. We got a biker patch, and everyone
that,
that backs it, even digitally, gets a mixtape.
wait, a mixtape?
Yeah, I got a bunch of indie creators to make songs and like cyberpunk kind of mixtape. Yeah.
Oh, fine.
So yeah.
So
So the stretch
when
goals
do
are
you get
probably
these stretch
underneath
goals?
the pages quite a bit. Yeah, keep going.
I
No,
didn't get all the way through, did I? Like I just
it's all good.
let's go to the trailer. No, that's awesome. I love this scene right here. I love how
Thank
like
you.
the use of the borders and everything. Ah, it's awesome.
I dig it too.
Sorry, I'm like ADHD or whatever. So
Nothing
like
wrong with that.
I call it shiny squirrel syndrome. So like
Shiny
I'm
squirrel.
good. I'm trekking along, and all of a sudden, shiny squirrel runs through, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Perfect.
Okay, stretch goals.
I like that. Yeah. So yeah, we got there's a postcard, double-sided postcard everybody gets. Everybody will get my art bro Jeremy's print that he did. That's really awesome. I upgraded the book to 40 pages instead of 32, so that's what that is. It's not story pages, but it's like good stuff to help the book. And then a mixtape, which is I think 7 songs long, including a track by Vosto Synthwave, a track by Ryan Wynn, a track by Deltaverse Comics. So there's several indie creators on that one that you get to listen to the book or read the book while you listen or whatever you want to do.
Now, is it an actual tape or is it like a
It's just a
digital
it's just an MP3, like the
MP3?
files
Okay.
I'll send out to everybody.
Okay, that's awesome, man. And then, oh, the patch. What kind of patch is that? Like it says
It's
content.
I have it over here, but it's in a box. But it's a 2x4 ish kind of size patch. Your basic patch. Shay the Red kind of convinced me to get patches because it's a good angle for a bike book. But yeah, anybody who gets 32 bucks or more, this is something I do on this campaign where you have to spend a certain amount to get a certain stretch goals. So if
Right.
if you get 2 books, you get the patch as well. And
Okay.
then the last piece is just another awesome print by Luis Diaz, and he is just a great cartoonist, and he did a couple great characters for me.
Now, your patch here, going back to that for a second, is that an iron on or is it a sew on?
It is a sew-on.
Okay.
So it's, I feel like I put the kanji on there, so it's a little bit different than everything else, so that's kind of what makes it unique, which is awesome. But yeah, you have to sew it on.
These are some awesome stretch goals, man.
Thanks. We hit them all, so that's all I
Yeah.
really wanted. I have a
I guess these are the prints
yeah,
and more
close.
magnifying look at them.
And then here is the exclusive that came with the sign up. So only the sign up people get this, but it's a metal trading card.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed I missed out on that.
Oh, next time. Always next time.
Yeah. Definitely going to get it on the next one. Yeah, these look awesome, dude. Like I
And
love the scenery. Like
that's a
back here.
poster that comes with the essential tier. So if you're interested in the top tier, it's like $50 or something, but that's a 24-inch long poster. So
Like I love the whole look of the looks like a city underneath the city.
yes,
Like that's just I don't know. Something about that just really it's pulling my eye in.
yeah. To me, that's what it's all about. It's a little bit of a class system, but it's also about that it doesn't really matter, but it's just how the world is structured, very physically. You can really easily recognizable who's better off than other people.
That's awesome, man. Like this is looking awesome. I'm excited for you for this. Like how many more are you planning on doing?
So this is a mini series. So I'm planning on doing essentially whatever it takes, but I'm planning 8 chapters. So this is the first chapter of 8.
Okay.
So quite a bit. This is like it's almost when you read it, it'll feel like just enough. You'll be like, this is a great, intro into the world and everything, and I want to see more. That's what the goal is here. For me, the goal for a first chapter is to like make it impossible for the person not to want to read more. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was the goal here.
That should always be the goal, right? You always want people to come back and want more.
Yeah, they gotta want more for sure.
And this is the T-shirt logo.
Yeah, that's the
There's a
T-shirt logo
T-shirt.
that only comes with the Apex backer tier, which is the $170 tier. You get pretty much everything, with the
Oh,
exception.
probably just made everybody sick.
It's okay. It happens to me all the time. It jumps.
Okay, 100.
Yeah.
Wait,
So yeah, one up the Apex
this one.
backer. Yep.
This one.
That's the only way to get the T-shirt is within that package. And it's just something where I wanted to know if I see you wearing this shirt, I know you're a super fan of it. So
So, are any of these included as add-ons as well? So when I go into back, will I be able to add any of this on?
everything is an add-on, I think, except the bike because specifically the bike is so much for shipping that it's separate.
Okay,
But the everything else, I believe, you can add on the sketch card. You can add on either cover. You can add on everything, like I said, but the T-shirt because the T-shirt I want to know, you're a super fan by getting the Apex backer grouping.
gotcha, man. All right, that's
And I do
awesome.
everything traditionally, by the way. So I do actually have original pages that you can buy. They're I think they're 200. It's the last tier. So
Oh wow.
if anybody's interested in that, I've got several people take me up on that.
So this is all traditional, nothing digital.
No, the coloring's digital, but I did traditional pencils, so I go straight from pencil work to digital colors. Um, but yeah, I have all of the pages as pencil work. So
I have one more thing I was going to ask you about. I saw down here. You want to tell us a little bit about the characters, or you want to leave it a mystery?
I can go quick rundown, like because I have them like in my head pretty pretty simply. So Atlas is our main character. He's a it says the narcissist, so he's pretty much self-absorbed, and he's got this crazy idea that he's probably good enough to race against these androids, even though it's like a almost a suicidal thought. But he's got his more down to earth brother Menno, and they have this conflict. They're completely opposites of each other, so he's very loyal and almost to a fault. He'll take one for the team, but he's trying to do things way different. He's trying to like advise Atlas to not be so reckless. But yeah, it's a family dynamic. And then Hip Terran is our AAT, and pretty much she's like the fighter. She's like the tank, if you will. She's just like the most likely to get into a fight. She's what we call lowborn, so she's born in the lower districts of the city. So she's kind of a street kind of raised a street racer, and also Atlas's ex-girlfriend. So they kind of have a lot of conflict because of that as well. So
I just like the fact that she looks like a woman.
yeah, that too. That too. So I dig who she is, and like I base everything cool that I want to see, and like like a femme fatale badass chick, I want to show through Hip. So
Right?
um, I'm glad she's in the story. And
Yeah,
then
I'm glad she's in the story too. Just saying. Just saying.
so Nick is the Atlas's best friend, and he's pretty much the engineer. He ends up being the engineer in the end, but really he's just a smart kid, the smartest kid around. He's like a college student, or he's more like in this world you don't have to study and you don't have to learn anything. But he's one of those crazy like obsessed with science type guys where even though it's not even a job, it's not even a real thing, he's still doing it. So he's almost like a hobbyist turned professional. And then Sandra Dredd is the first taste of an antagonist. So she's like just a power hungry executive over the biggest company in this society. So like this company manufactures androids, and she's like one of the heads there, and is kind of doing shady stuff. So that's where it starts.
So she's kind of our witchy woman, huh?
Yeah, she's a witchy, more like she's like a femme fatale, but in like a mastermind kind of way. She's a manipulator.
Oh, and here you have the original pages. That's awesome, man. Like I'm digging the characters. I'm rooting for Atlas and Hip.
Oh yeah, it's a fun story.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited. I'm like I said, I'm gonna back this totally after we get off here. I do it live on my laptop, but I don't want to expose all my info to everybody.
yeah,
I know I totally would do that. I would totally boomer that. Um,
sometimes everybody has those moments.
but yeah, here's some original art pieces, and you've got your team here. So yeah,
Hmm.
everybody go back Star Circuit if you haven't already. Go and subscribe to Joe's channel. Follow him on Twitter. He's at Catapano Art. You know what? I totally forgot to put that in the description. I'm
Oh,
just
it's
terrible
okay.
today. I'm so terrible. Um, but
It's
no,
okay.
this is awesome. Like I appreciate you coming on here and telling me about it because like I hadn't really seen or heard anything about it since I've been, kind of started coming back around and stuff. And I was like, who is this Joe character? What is he doing? And then when you hit me up, I was looking at the project. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like,
I'm
I'm a
really
huge fan of like Tron and Ghost in the Shell, Akira, all that stuff too. And so like, I was getting those same vibes and then like the Blade Runner vibe. And I was like, yeah, I could totally dig this. I need to know more about it. So I appreciate you
yeah, I'm
coming on and
glad.
talking to me about it today.
Yeah, I assume that I've talked to everyone, even though I've barely talked to anyone. So that's just my. I just need to know. Like, I always need to be telling people about it because I haven't talked to everyone.
My friend Fenrir showed up in the chat. What up, Fenrir?
Fenrir.
Sorry, buddy. Like we're just wrapping it up, but you can go check out the replay and go back it if you haven't yet. It looks like a great fun story, and I'm excited to see where you're gonna go with it, Joe.
Yeah, I've got all the secrets in my brain and in the back notebooks. So I'm like excited to get it out on paper and for people to read it.
What? Skip? Give me a half off an original page tier. I want a page, but don't want the missus to see the bill.
So yeah, we totally can't give you a discount, but we can try to find ways where the missus won't see the bill though. I'll help you out.
Got to put some like hidden stuff in there. Well, Joe, it's
Oh
been
yeah.
so nice having you come on and talk to me about Star Circuit today, and I appreciate like everything that you're doing for the community, for other creators. Like I see you out there. I see you working hard. Like yeah, I think this is awesome. It's definitely one to get into and give back to.
Well,
So
thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Like what you're doing is like more than anything, like helping promote and helping spread the word is all we need. You know.
well, it takes a village, right? It takes a
Yeah.
village. So I can consume all day long, but why not give back too and put some of that back out there, for other people. It's called karma. It comes back
Yeah.
to you. It always comes
Absolutely.
back to you. So
Hmm.
anyways, everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all showing up. Like y'all are awesome. Come back later on tonight if you want to see a Lola after midnight, because that's happening for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we get a little degenerate on those shows. But
Nice.
yeah, it's fun. It's always fun. And I always have like a different panel, never know who's gonna show up.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Everybody here is awesome. Keep creating, Keep making stuff. Keep making things happen. Make your dreams happen.
Indeed. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody.